Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a look at a really fun new combo that has been brought to my attention. Now, I was given a head up for this, shall we say, by the lovely Code64X on Twitter, good friend of the channel. But it was originally tweeted out by @HeraZisora. Yeah. Someone I don't follow, but hey, if they're coming up with ideas like this, maybe I should. And it all revolves around the new Clefairy from Dream League. Now, I did a video about Clefairy when it came out. I'll pop a link to that video in the description. But frankly, when Clefairy was revealed, I was underwhelmed. Just wasn't really digging it. Now, to be fair, the box promo for Dream League is this. And oh my goodness, it's beautiful. It's not actually in the set proper. You have to, over in Japan, buy a box of Dream League. Usually the box promos come out in North America, Europe, etc. as promos with free pack blisters or things like that. No word on how this is coming out yet, but it's beautiful and we love it. But I was underwhelmed. Now, all our translations here come from the lovely Joe over at Cerebi.net. And Clefairy here for free colourless energy does 60 damage, and then you may put Clefairy and all cards attached to it into your hand, and then pop a Clefairy doll from your hand, or a Lily's Polka doll as it's actually called, as your active Pokemon. Cool. Now, the most disappointing thing here is the energy cost, because being a basic Pokemon, you can't use triple acceleration energy. And we no longer have double colourless energy, but even if we did, it wouldn't work because it's only 2 energy, not 3. And, I mean, you can use Malamar, but then you've got a bunch of stage 1s out, and you can use Welder, but that's not going to always be that reliable. Tapu Koko Prism Star can make it a bit easier, but that's still only accelerating 2 energy, and we don't have double colourless. And you can use stuff like either of the Magnezone, but then you're playing a stage 2, and it's all getting a little bit awkward. Although, to be fair, the solution I've got for you is a stage 2, but you'll see why it's a much better idea. And I was underwhelmed by both the energy cost and the attack damage, because 60 damage was frankly disappointing, if I'm honest with you. Because 60 damage, yes, it'll get some evolving Pokemon like Inkay, but there's plenty of evolving Pokemon out there like Poipole that you're not even going to be getting a KO on here. And when you're not even getting all the evolving Pokemon, I start losing interest pretty gosh darned quickly. And you got 50 HP, which is terrible. So the low HP and the expensive, underwhelming attack didn't make me happy. To be fair, the extra effect of the attack really did make me kind of happy. The extra effect of the attack that you can put a Lily's Pokédoll in the active is great. Lily's Pokédoll is base set Clefairy, or if you want a more recent example, Robosub. It is a 30 HP Pokemon that you whack down in the active. You can put it on the bench, but not as a result of Clefairy's attack. And it doesn't give up a prize, can't attack, can't retreat. It just sits there, making your opponent waste an attack to get rid of it. Better, however, than Clefairy Doll and Robosub, because Clefairy Doll and Robosub, you've got to discard them to get them out the active, or just off the field, whereas Lily's Pokédoll, you put it on the bottom of your deck, which means it's still in your deck available to use later. So either your opponent knocks out Lily's Pokédoll and doesn't take a prize, or they're not able to knock it out, and then you get to put it on the bottom of your deck, and they still don't take a prize. That sounds pretty good to me. Now, to be fair, when you've used all 4 Lily's Pokédoll, it is very awkward to recover them, unless you want to start using stuff like Oranguru, or my personal preference, the new Excadrill, which is largely similar. Oranguru puts 3 cards from your discard pile on the bottom of your deck. Excadrill shuffles 4 into your deck from your discard, but it's largely the same thing. Cool. But the problem is, as much as I'm loving putting the Pokédoll in the active, the problems we've got here are it's too expensive and it doesn't do enough damage. The good news is we can basically fix both of those problems with Porygon Z, Rainbow Energy, and Expert Belt. You see, Porygon Z, the one from Unbroken Bonds, allows you to attach as many special energy during your turn as you like. Now, it is also a stage 2, and I did just mention that Magnezone was too awkward as a stage 2. So Porygon Z is going to need to bring something a bit better, but it does. Rainbow Energy is a special energy that provides any energy, and when you attach it, you put 1 damage counter on the Pokemon to whom you have attached it. And you can put all 4 on Clefairy here, and then you go down to 10 HP, but you won't be KO'd. Why would you want to go down so low? Hustle Bout. You see, Hustle Bout came out in Celestial Storm, and it is a great tool card whereby if the Pokemon to which it is attached has 30 HP or less remaining and has damage counters on, i.e. it can't just be a natural 30 HP Pokemon, I'm looking at you, Magikarp, you do an extra 60 damage. Well, that makes quite a huge difference. So what we're essentially doing here is we're now not hitting for 60 anymore. We're now hitting for 120. And we're not worried about the energy because we can just attach all the rainbow energy in one go. And what's brilliant here is that Clefairy puts itself and all cards attached to it into your hand. So you get all the rainbow energy back, you get the Hustle Belt back, so next turn you can just pop the Clefairy down, attach all 4 rainbow energy, and then keep rolling. Although you only, to be fair, have to attach 3. You'll go down to 20 HP remaining, which will be fine, and you'll have the energy on. You can reattach all the rainbow energy, you can reattach the Hustle Bout, and now you're hitting for 120. You're getting all the energy on in a single turn, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we're rolling. Those 2 problems that we had before, yeah, they've been completely and utterly fixed. Now, there are a couple of new problems that do get introduced. Basically, if your opponent plays Reset Stamp, and let's face it, Reset Stamp is going to be everywhere post-rotation, forces both players to shuffle their hand into their deck, draw a number of cards equal to their remaining prizes, that even if you get 6 back, you're still losing your hand. And the problem with that is that all your rainbow energy, your Hustle Bout, your Clefairy, they all go back into your deck. Judge will do the same thing, but you're going to see a lot more Reset Stamp post-rotation. So that's actually genuinely quite frustratingly annoying, because if your opponent drops a Reset Stamp, you've got to re-find everything. The other weirdly specific counter to this is Blizzard Town. Blizzard Town is a great, great counter to Hustle Belt. Blizzard Town is a new stadium that just came out in Unified Minds, and it stops any Pokemon with 40 HP or less attacking. Well, as soon as you put a single rainbow energy on, Blizzard Town stops you attacking. And if you don't put any rainbow energy on, you can't use Hustle Bout, which means you're just doing 60 damage. Blizzard Town is a weirdly specific counter to this strategy, so it's not without its risks, ladies and gentlemen. Blizzard Town, problem. Reset Stamp or anything else that shuffles your hand into your deck, problem. Annoying. But then again, you're also hitting a really good weakness here. I'm expecting Garchomp and Giratina to be one of the best decks post-rotation. That's a Dragon deck, it's weak to Fairy. I'm expecting Reshiram and Zekrom to be the best deck when it's legal for tournament play in November. I made a video about it, I'll pop a link in the description. And that is a Dragon deck which is weak to Fairy. So all of a sudden, you've got a really big incentive to be hitting Fairy weakness. Now, what is annoying is that even with a Hustle Bout, you're only actually hitting 120, which with weakness is 240, and both Reshiram and Zekrom and Garchomp and Giratina have 270. So you're probably going to want to play around with Shrine of Punishment. But remember, they give up 3 prizes when you KO. You give up 1, but you're playing around with Lily's Pokédoll, so you're often giving up none. And I'd rather hit 130 than 120, because you've got a bunch of stuff around like Boswell that have 130. Now, there's still plenty of stuff like Zapdos and Jirachi that don't have 120 even, and that's kind of cool. But there are a bunch of non-GXs you won't get here. But the real factor that you need to consider is that you're often not giving up a prize, and that is the absolutely crucial scenario here. You can avoid giving up a prize, which means even when you're 2-hit KOing, it doesn't really matter because you'll rarely be giving up a prize, at least at the beginning of the game. Our gusting effects like Guzma etc. have gone post-rotation. Your opponent at this stage is going to have Great Catcher, which only works for gusting EXs and GXs, which you don't need to play, or Custom Catcher, which only works if you've got 2 in your hand, which means it's awkward to use, and even when it works, it's maximum twice per game. And in a format with very poor gusting options, your opponent is going to have to attack the active far more often. So now all of a sudden, you're not giving up a prize all that much, and let's face it, you can only use Oranguru to get your Clefairy doll back, because you're probably giving up a prize of Oranguru, but you're giving up 1 prize to get back 3 Pokédolls that then don't give up a prize. Yeah, that seems like a pretty fair trade-off to me. You're giving up 1 prize to make your opponent waste 3 attacks. And now hitting 120 is great. Blizzard Town is not seeing a lot of hype, it's not seeing play in Japan. Reset Stamp is generally around a 1 or 2 of in most decks, sort of work a couple times but not all that much. And with poor gusting, I think this could legitimately work. This is a deck that has a real chance to be a lot of fun and maybe even see some success. But I'd like to know if you're buying it. I'd like to know if you believe it or whether you think it's never going to be quite good enough. Let me know in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WasiPlays, where we talk about a whole bunch of games that don't even have any Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.